happening right now. The winter storm is pounding both Carolinas. This is a live look at the snow coming down right now at Biltmore. Also, our chief meteorologist, Christy Henderson, told you to get ready for this storm. She told us the snow was coming, and she was right.
And we've been watching that rain-snow line too, Amy. That's been a critical factor in to see who's going to get mostly snow and who's going to see a mix and who's going to end up with a lot of rain. Here's where the rain-snow line is right now. It stretches over the southern part of Anderson County, right across the city of Lawrence, maybe just north of Lawrence, into the southern part of Union County. So from these areas north, that's where we're primarily seeing snow. It's light snow to moderate snow in some locations. And in our mountain zone, temperatures have been below freezing, and that's where it's had a good chance to accumulate. Here's a closer look at what's going on. We've got light snow from downtown Spartanburg over towards Fountain Inn, Greenville, and into Union, but it's rain from Lawrence down into Greenwood and into Abbeville. I think what's going to happen is over the next couple of hours, that rain-snow line might actually drift northward, which would include a few more of us in the rain, but I think overall it will stay south of I-85, and you see the back edge of the moisture is back into the western part of Alabama. It's going to take several more hours before all of this is out of here, and there's still an opportunity for us to see some decent snowfall totals. We'll talk more about that in the 5-zone forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Christy, thank you. The area around the North and South Carolina border will be one of the heaviest snow total spots tonight. So we want to check in with 7 on Your Side's Drew Smith. He's joining us live. It's our mobile newsroom in Hendersonville where we've seen the snow falling. What's the latest now, Drew? It's really coming down.
Amy, very heavy snow, even heavier than when we last joined you. To give a kind of an idea, take a look at what's gathered on me just in the past 5 minutes. I just stepped outside of our live unit here, and this is how much has fallen. Down on the ground, a lot more, obviously. You can see I've cleared this area out, but at least an inch, maybe 2 inches has fallen here in this parking lot right here. We're not far from Interstate 26. And that right now, we can tell you, is a mess. Interstate 26 from here where the Flat Rock exit is down toward Polk County, that is backed up in both directions. North Carolina DOT tells us it's because of the snow and the slush that tractor trailers have not been able to handle it very well. We do want to show you some video that we shot earlier today in the city of Hendersonville, downtown. A lot of people were out venturing around checking out the snow, but mostly it was a ghost town because stores, restaurants, they all closed down early today. Most businesses sent people home. There was already some snow on the ground because of the snow that we had earlier this week, and that's what it started to mount first on the sidewalks and the grassy areas, but now we have seen all of the snow start to build up on the roadways. Secondary roads are the worst right now, and back out on even some of the highways in this area, it's not easy to travel. We've seen the DOT coming through trying to clear it, and this is a gas station over here. The gas pumps are still working, but the McDonald's and the gas station, they're closed. That's pretty much like every business around here. So it's serious snow up here in Henderson County, and of course it is not easy to drive. So if you can stay home, please do. Live in Henderson County, I'm Drew Smith, 7 on Your Side.
Good advice, Drew. Thank you. The snow started falling hours ago in Spartanburg. It just has not stopped. 7 on Your Side's Mike Manzoni is joining us in our mobile newsroom in Spartanburg now. Mike.
Well, I mean, as you can see, it's coming down pretty heavily here now. You can see the snowflakes on my jacket. They're pretty big to the point where you can have no problem seeing them on the camera now. It's a lot different than when we came to you earlier. You can see there's not many people out here. There's one guy right there, but we have not seen much traffic out here. This downtown Spartanburg is pretty much a ghost town at this point. That's because, as you can see on the ground, the snow is sticking finally. It's a slushy mix. Let me show you down here. If you move, it's pretty easy to slide. Of course, I have dress shoes on, which probably wasn't smart on my part, but it's really easy to slide. So if you are outside, if you have to go outside, make sure that you are careful, because it's very easy to slip in this kind of snow. What the snow is great for, if you have kids, snowmen. This made a small one here. Of course, you can make a bigger one, but it is wet, and it is a great snow to pack together in balls and to make a snowman. So if you want to do that, if you have kids today or tomorrow, you can do that as well. And we're going to stay out here, continue to monitor conditions. Of another update for you later on in the show. For now, we're live in downtown Spartanburg. Mike Manzoni, 7 on Your Side.
You win funniest live shot, Mike. Thank you. Take a look at this. This is snow coming down in Inman a little earlier this evening. Our meteorologist, Dan Bickford, and photojournalist Jason Parker captured these images as they were driving through the Spartanburg County zone as well. In snowy places, it was snowing in Spartanburg County. That's one of the spots. Also, other places, it was more of a wintry kind of mix. mix, and that's what happened here near Highway 29. But it changes back over to snow very quickly. We've seen that happening. A lot of live reports coming in online on WSPA.com during our web chat about that. DOT crews are out tonight, keeping the roads safe for you to drive. 7 on your side found this crew out there putting the brine down on Highway 26 in Spartanburg tonight. If you have to go out tonight, and officials are saying please don't, but if you have to, they say you have to give yourself plenty of time and go super slow to get to your destination. You can see the snow hasn't stopped drivers from getting behind the wheel and braving the slush tonight, though. You're looking at some video of the drivers in Greenville. They're moving around right now, still on those roads. Our Jenna Traum is joining us live from our mobile newsroom in Greenville. What's the situation like there? How are the roads, Jenna?
Well, I've been seeing a lot of drivers being very careful making turns here at this intersection of East North and Pleasantburg Drive. Take a look down here. It's because the roads are starting to slush over. The snow has been falling steadily out here since just before 5 o'clock. The upstate spokesman for Highway Patrol tells me keeping primary roads like this one, Pleasantburg Drive, and interstates clear of wrecks is his agency's top priority tonight. The upstate SCDOT spokesman also says keeping those same interstates and highways clear of snow is his agency's top priority tonight as well. The Highway Patrol spokesman tells me troopers are communicating heavily with SCDOT throughout the night, looking out for trouble spots. You can see in our video there are plenty of drivers getting on the roads tonight despite the snowfall. And it sounds like what you're seeing right now is what you're going to see tomorrow morning during your morning commute. Lots of slush, but those untreated roads like the ones probably in your neighborhood could have a layer of black ice hidden underneath, so be careful. Live in Greenville, Jenna Traum, 7 on your side.
All right, Jenna, thanks. Well, it sounds like what you're seeing right now is what you're going to see tomorrow morning for the commute. Some slush that may ice over, and untreated roads like the ones that are in your neighborhood may have that black ice hiding underneath that Jenna mentioned. So really be careful, be aware, and prepare to hear about maybe delays tomorrow. The snow started falling heavily in Clemson just as it got dark today. This is a familiar sight. This is Bowman Field. Well, it actually isn't. This is a lovely street that we're looking at here. The traffic moving along. The mountains are now coated in a layer of slick snow, too. The area hasn't been able to catch a break from all this recent winter weather, so the conditions are getting pretty hazardous out there. Our Emily Pace is joining us from our mobile newsroom in Asheville, where they've had snow for a few hours now. Emily?
Snow started falling here in Asheville just before 6 o'clock, and it hasn't stopped yet. As you can see, really a thick layer of snow and ice has already formed. And this stuff is also really slippery. It's not easy to walk on, nor is it easy to drive on. Many businesses even closed their doors early tonight because of the dangerous conditions. But a few places are taking anyone and everyone who needs a place to go during this storm. I'll have more on that coming up, plus what you can do to help people in need battle this cold weather, coming up in just 10 minutes. We're live in Asheville. Emily Pace, 7 on your side.
All right. Emily, thanks. 7 on your side's Addie Hampton is joining us from the mobile newsroom tonight in Gaffney. Addie.
Well, hey there, Amy. I tell you what, I don't know what the weather was like when people lived in log cabins like these around the 1800s, but here in downtown Gaffney tonight, the snow has really come down hard. The majority of this snow, about 1 to 2 inches that you can see right here, has really come down in about the last half hour to hour. I want to show you a video that we shot when we first arrived here tonight. Just a light snow along Main Street in downtown Gaffney, but enough to make it turn into a little bit of a ghost town. Fortunately, people taking the warnings of DOT officials and emergency management, staying off these secondary roads especially. We've been posted across from the Gaffney Fire Department, and so far I've only seen 1 to 2 fire trucks actually leaving with sirens on tonight. But I tell you what, the snow has been pretty intermittent throughout the evening. We've seen in the last 2 hours stop, turn to rain, turn back to snow, then stop again. And in the meantime, those roads have melted and then snow is piled right back on top of those. So we do want you to be extra careful as these temperatures drop. That wet part underneath that snow can turn into ice, making it especially slick. And you may think you're safe if you're driving on snow, but again, be very, very careful that could be very slick underneath. But so far, more of the same. People are out here driving, but so far people have pretty much enjoyed it out here tonight. I think we are too. I'm live in downtown Gaffney. Addie Hampton, 7 on your side.
That's a pretty live shot, Addie. Thank you. Our meteorologist Jason Nappy is in Welford. He's driving
We're
around.
at Highway 29 in Greer. It's just marginal right now. The temperature is barely at 32 degrees, and because of that, slushy conditions on the roadways. We're not seeing that hard freeze that we saw last week with the ice storm. Temperature just, the atmosphere has cooled down to 32, but look ahead of me here on Highway 29. Still a very dangerous situation. Roadways are snow covered, a lot of slush outside, and we saw the plows going up and down Highway 29 in Greer, and that's going to continue. We'll be battling that rain and snow line throughout the night. Accumulation still in that 3 to 6, 4 to 6 range, as we had a lot of mixing going on earlier, but now it's just a light snow event. We will not see anything more than what we're seeing right now as far as light to moderate snow at best as this storm continues here. As we head down Highway 29, the atmosphere is going to stay right at 32, and we're going to see a little bit of rain in the back end with this storm. And we'll have Christy Henderson, Chief Meteorologist Christy Henderson, give you an update on that hour-by-hour forecast through the night. But still, a good idea to stay off the roadways tonight, as even though the plows are out, we saw one a few minutes ago, about a half hour ago, make a U-turn in front of us here. So you definitely want to be careful when you head out tonight. For now, it's meteorologist Jason Nappy here in Greer and 7 on your side.
All right, Jason, thanks. And remember, download our 24/7 app for your smartphone. You can get weather alerts that go right to your smartphone or your tablet, and visit to sign up for the text and email alerts on our webpage. You can also track storms with live radar and check conditions where you are, all WSPA.com. Viewers are sharing lots of pictures from all over the upstate. Patty Lovelace of Tryon sent in this beautiful picture of the horse against a snowy evening background. That is just gorgeous. Also, a picture of doggies out there playing and fetch in the snow. This caught our attention, and of course it steals the heart. Ralphie Nix of Salem, South Carolina sent a picture that he says he got a 5 inches of snow in this area. He says he can't wait to see what he'll get tonight. We'll have to check in with Christy on that total and see if that sounds right. We want to see your snow pictures. You can send them to share at WSPA.com or Facebook.com/WSPA TV.
Well, by daybreak tomorrow, we'll expect quieter weather to be on the way. Temperatures will start out near 31 degrees for the upstate, the mountain low temperature at 27. So there will be some road issues out there tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about what to expect. We'll be right back, though, with more winter storm coverage.
Take a live look right now. This is our GSP camera there at the airport. The winter storm is here. It's led to a lot of cancellations on arrivals for flights there tonight. Now we want to check in right now. 7 on your sides. Mike Manzoni is in our mobile newsroom in Spartanburg, where the snow continues to come down. Mike.
Yeah, I mean, it's been falling really since about 6:30, maybe 7 o'clock here. Started as sleet and snow and rain kind of mixture, a wet mixture. Switched over to snow a few hours ago, and it's just continued to fall nonstop ever since. You can see now it started to cover the roadways. Once it hits the road, it seems to have melted a little bit, and then it kind of turns into this dark, kind of slushy mess that's very, very slippery. Now, unlike earlier, there are not too many cars out here. And there may be maybe 1 or 2 restaurants open, but the others have closed either because of the weather or just because they said that they weren't getting a lot of customers. We talked with the deli earlier. They said they had planned on staying open unless things got really bad out here, but nobody was showing up. The snow, again, if you're going out, if you have to be out, is really slippery. You can see how easily my feet slide on it. So even though it doesn't look like much, if you go outside and you walk on it, make sure that you are careful. We'll continue to stay out here. We'll be back for another update tonight at 11. For now, we're live in downtown Spartanburg. Mike Manzoni, 7 on your side.
All right, Mike, thank you. Western North Carolina has seen all snow during the storm at this point. That means it's really starting to pile up. Here is Drew Smith live in Henderson County with a car that is looking quite covered up, Drew.
That's right, Amy. Take a look. Perfect illustration of what we've been seeing up here in Henderson County. That's how much has fallen here so far. The entire car pretty much covered. This is what we've seen since about 5 o'clock. The road's not so good. The plows are trying to do their job, but the big story here in Henderson County is really the issue on Interstate 26. It's closed right now, North Carolina DOT is telling us. That's because of multiple accidents on the highway. So that just shows you how dangerous the roads are right now. Lots of snow out here. Amy, back to you.
Yeah, we have heard about this situation on the interstate. It's actually trucks, Christy, that were trying to get through the slush, and they couldn't. So they're basically blocking the highway. So now the Highway Patrol has to try to get, or DOT crews, whoever, have to try to get these trucks moved out of the way so traffic can actually get through. It's a really bad situation on 26. So if you know people traveling tonight, tell them to stay off the roads.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be a big mess, especially along and north of 85, because that's where we've had the snow, even though temperatures have been just above freezing in a lot of locations. All of that snow coming down has created a slush that is very dangerous on the roads, and we do expect temperatures to get down to or just below freezing in most areas by tomorrow morning. Now here's a look at what's going on. This is a dynamic situation. Now we're nowcasting to see how all this is going to unfold. As I mentioned, along 85, just to the south of it, we've got some snow. North of 85, we've got some snow. You move a little farther to the south, though, and it's mainly been rain. Early on, we had some snow in Greenwood. A lot of reports of big snowflakes and then a change over to rain. So this is where the snow rain line is right now, very close to Great Court, the Owings area. You move into Fountain Inn, a better chance of seeing snow there. The rain snow line cuts right across the city of Anderson and eastward across the southern part of Union County. So maybe a little snow coming down in the city of Union, but it's rain in Whitmire and on down into Newberry. It's a pretty big system, and we still have several more hours to go of this precipitation moving on through. Now that rain snow line holds steady. That's going to help those snow accumulations for points north to continue to build. But if it doesn't move at all, that means that folks south of that line are mainly going to end up with rain. I think what's going to happen, though, is some of the areas that are getting rain now will eventually see some snow. It's just that the accumulations will be a lot lower. So here's the latest thinking on the potential snow totals that we'll find. In our mountain zone, 4 to 7 inches. We'll stick with that. In the foothill zone, 4 to 6 inches, a possibility there. We've already had a report of 3 inches of snow in Tryon. And then in the northern part of Spartanburg, the Spartanburg zone and the Greenville zone, we're expecting anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of snow. And of course, we've been just above freezing for the evening hours, and so it's created a slush. You move a little farther to the south into Anderson, on into Lawrence, up to 2 inches of snow, a possibility. A lot of rain mixed in, mostly rain from Elberton over towards Abbeville and over towards Greenwood as well. So the lowest impact of the system will be felt over our southern zones. And it's still 35 degrees now in Greenwood. It's 34 in Union. Spartanburg's temperature is 33, but we're down to 32 in Gaffney, and it is 30 degrees with snow piling up in Hendersonville. Here's the winter storm warning that is in effect until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it does include all 5 of our zones. So again, the temperature is going to be key, and that's going to determine who ends up seeing some snow, even if you're seeing rain right now. Here's the timeline. This is the best chance we have to get a picture of what's going to happen here going by midnight. You can see that this is about where the rain snow line is, so everybody points north. We'll continue to see some of the snow accumulating there, and then as we get into about 2 or 3 in the morning, we'll start to see all of this trying to wind down. So lots of clouds left over going into tomorrow morning, maybe a leftover flurry, but that's it. And then we'll see any icy areas become slush during the day. Look for a high near 40 degrees tomorrow for the upstate. Black ice possible tomorrow night in some areas. Mid-40s for the high on Friday. A quiet weekend, warmer, and a chance of rain by early next week. And your mountain forecast calls for temperatures to top out in the mid-30s. We are below freezing there for now. So big problems in the mountains, big problems north of 85. Fewer problems at this point south of 85 where it's been a lot of rain.
Yeah, we've got people in our live chat on WSPA.com right now, and Kimberly is saying in Woodruff they've just got like kind of rain and sleet right now, so it's different depending upon where you are.
And there's such a huge difference on either side of that line. South of the line, you're not going to see much. North of it, you could end up with several inches of snow, and there's no way to really know exactly where it's going to be.
Stay tuned.
We'll keep tracking it.
Yes, we're going to be on and online too till midnight. All right, well, as many businesses close their doors ahead of the storm tonight, a few places in Asheville stayed open out of necessity. Tonight, Buncombe County is once again under code purple. This means shelters are taking in anyone who needs to get out of the cold at this point. 7 on your side's Emily Pace is in Asheville with how the storm's taken a toll.
The streets are almost completely bare tonight in downtown Asheville, except for a few enthusiastic weather fans. But officials say that's a good thing, especially as we're expected to have heavy snowfall for several more hours here. Now, the city launches into what it calls code purple when the temperatures drop dangerously low. That's in effect right now. And when that happens, shelters actually open their doors and feed people as many as they can. But all this winter weather has actually taken a toll on those services.
Utility bills increase, our food bills increase, and we could always use money. But beyond that, we could use warm weather gear for our homeless folks.
Yeah, please do.
Now, officials are saying if you have any kind of donations, what they're looking for is things like gloves, hats, coats, basically anything that you wear in this type of weather, they need right now. We're live in Asheville. Emily Pace, 7 on your side.
Emily, thank you. And check this out. This is a weather time-lapse video coming out of Oconee County, sent by Ryan Crumpton, one of our viewers in Walhalla. He says it took him about 2 hours to put this together, and he tells us that he had a theme in mind: sweater weather. It's the name of the song playing in the background if you listen to the whole thing. It's by a group called The Neighborhood. You can see the full time-lapse video. It's on WSPA.com in the links we mentioned, so check that out. Pretty cool to see. And take a look. This is video we saw tonight in Greer. Whoa! People are using all kinds of ways to get around. Our crew spotting a snowmobile in South Carolina riding along Highway 29 in our fresh snow. Well, you need to see even more proof. Here it is. Widespread snow is moving all over the area tonight. Check this out. You're looking at different angles right now of our live cams in Spartanburg, Greenville, the Mountain Zone, and from several of the weather and traffic cameras. It really is something to watch. We've been showing this behind the scenes tonight online on WSPA.com too. Pretty amazing stuff. Well, the Carolinas are not the only states impacted by this latest round of winter weather. We're taking you across the South and up north for a look at how the storm is impacting thousands of other people tonight. And Liz Padham braved the elements to create these miniature snowmen. They look like they may have more company before this night's over. Keep sending us your weather pictures, upload them, and share them with share@WSPA.com. Our team coverage of this winter weather is continuing right now. New at 10, check out this video. It's of Rome, Georgia. Drivers were reduced to this bumper-to-bumper traffic after an accident started by a tractor-trailer truck veering off the road, set things into really slow motion. Fortunately, no one's hurt. And look at this, a new video out of Maine. This is a terrible crash. A blizzard condition triggered a 40-car pileup. This is what can happen, folks. This is Interstate 95. It resulted in this mangled situation, all these vehicles torn up, and at least a dozen people are hurt. Coming up next, we have sports on the way. This team is trying to close out the home slate with a win. We'll show you if they get it just ahead. And take a look at this shot of Roxy playing in the snow. Her owner snapped this picture just as the snow started to fall. Roxy seemed to enjoy it like most dogs. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Kentucky tries to get to 28-0. They blow a 4-point game open in the second half. Carl Anthony Towns on the throwdown. They roll in Starkville against Mississippi State decisively, 74-56. Good evening, everybody. It's the final regular season home game for USC Upstate, meaning it's senior night for Mario Blessing and Ty Green and also Fred Miller. And what a stylish final regular season home game for Green. 25 points. He was 5 out of 6 beyond the arc. There's one of them. Shoots 50% from the floor. Upstate pulls away in the second half. 70-47 is the final. Their 21st win of the year, and they secure at least third place in the conference. The 5 high school playoff games involving area teams postponed for tonight, as you'd probably expect. Of equal concern is that as of this afternoon, the high school league had announced no contingency plan with the upper state finals scheduled for Friday and Saturday at the Well in Greenville. Clemson and Wofford getting their baseball game that was postponed on Tuesday in today. Terriers in a 3-3 game of the 5th get the 2-run single from Carson Wallen. They led 5-3, but bottom half of the inning, Tigers tie it. Then Weston Wilson with the go-ahead RBI. He later had a 2-run homer. Clemson goes on to the win by a final count of 11-5. The Tigers athletic department says the casing around the rock has been damaged and investigations underway. And Quail Hollow in Charlotte gets the President's Cup for 2021. Finally, the Road Warriors playing at Elmira tonight. The homecoming Jackals, well, they acted like it. 3 first-period goals. They go on to an 8-3 victory. That was a key game as far as playoff positioning goes.
All right, thank you, Pete. Well, Christy's about to jump back on WSPA.com to take your weather questions. So join us. We'll be doing that until we hit the news at 11 o'clock on Channel 7. And anytime you need us, look for us on WSPA.com. Thanks for watching. The CW's Seinfeld is next. Good night.